have to come clean about something. In our last video, I lied to you about my familiarity with Shakespeare in Love. And at the time, I thought I had done the right thing by admitting that at the end of the video, but in truth, that admission was only to cover up an even greater lie. You see, about a minute or so before, I said, I love all of Tom Hanks' movies. And now, in recognition of my wrongdoings, I sit before you an honest man in admitting I haven't even seen all of Tom Hanks' movies. I haven't seen most of them, probably. I haven't seen the one where he's Walt Disney. I haven't seen the one where he runs a newspaper or something. I'm the Captain Now. I haven't seen that one. I haven't even seen Big all the way through. And I wish I could say that this is the first time I lied about seeing a movie, but painfully, it's not. My first memory of shame was in first grade. We were coming back from Christmas break and everybody had just seen Home Alone 3 and I just wanted to fit in, you see? So I told them I had seen it too, and when they asked me what my favorite part was, I froze. And my only solace in this humble moment of honesty, my indiscretions laid bare, is that maybe I'm not the only one. That maybe some of you have been in my shoes. You haven't seen a movie that people deem vital, but you're afraid to admit it, so you just lie and say you have. But I'm hoping to start down the road to recovery today, to see all those movies I should have already seen. And I want to take you with me. Along my journey towards absolution, I plan to sit down and tell you everything you need to know about all those movies that you missed out on. Together, let us now take our first steps. So grab yourself a notepad, pour yourself a glass of wine, and let's do this thing right. Welcome to A Liar's Guide to Mean Girls. Mean Girls, released in 2004, directed by Mark Waters off the back of Freaky Friday and the writorial debut of Tina Fey. Is there a word for that? She wrote it. It's been spoofed and referenced countless times over the years. It's currently being adapted into a stage musical, and it's widely revered as one of the best high school comedies ever made. Let's find out why. Spoilers for all of this, obviously. So the movie stars Lindsay Lohan as Katie Heron, although Katie's spelled all stupid, so it gets mispronounced as Caddy for much of the film. Katie's coming off years of homeschooling in Africa while her parents did research or something. But now they're back in the States and she's starting up public school. Surprise, surprise. First day's not going too hot. She's socially inept and everybody at the school's just kind of mean for some reason, so she's having a rough go. She's eating lunch in the bathroom and shit. It's no good. But lucky for all of us, she soon meets Janice and Damien. Oh shit, is that Lizzie Kaplan? I didn't know she was in this movie. Anyway, these two weird art kids kind of take her under their wing and show her the lay of the land. See, this is one of those movie high schools that don't actually exist in real life, so the student body is aggressively broken into these oddly specific cliques. Enter the Mean Girls. Cheers. Evan Williams. Notice the Plastics, which, let's be honest, perfect name. These three bitches run the school. We've got spoiled rich girl Gretchen Wieners, dumb as a bag of walnuts hot chick Karen Smith, played by Amanda Seyfried in her first film role. You're welcome, Mamma Mia. And the big one, Regina George, who was literally carried into the movie, an absolute monolith of social manipulation. If I may take a second just to go ahead and address this so it's not distracting later on. Yes, all of the Plastics have old lady names. No, I don't know why Tina Fey chose to do this. So with her two new friends, things are looking up for old Katie, but, oh, you hear that? I think there's an inciting incident coming. This is so stupid. This feels so cheesy. It's lunchtime, and this dork starts to give the new girl a hard time, but in a move that surprised all of us, none other than Regina George comes to her rescue. The Plastics invite her to their table, explain all these weird rules they have for themselves, and then the movie takes a few moments to really show just what a fish out of water this old Katie Heron chick is.
Shut up. I didn't say anything.
Ashton Kutcher.
Is that a band?
You just...
Oh, Katie. You're so stupid. Anyway, Gina George actually comes off as a pretty nice girl, but Janice steps in to reinforce her warning, and so begins Katie's double life. At first, it's just Katie spending some time with the Plastics to report back to the gang so they can make fun of them, but it'll soon go deeper. We'll get there, don't worry. Later on, in her senior level math class, she meets Aaron, the hot guy she's clearly gonna fall in love with. And out the gate, it almost gets her in trouble.
Katie, what do you say? He was so cute. I mean, A sub n equals n plus 1 over 4.
But high school's never easy, and the lesser Plastics soon forbid her from pursuing Hot Guy on account of the fact that he and Regina used to date. That is, until the queen herself finds out and not only gives Katie her blessing, but offers to talk to him for her. So sets the scene for Halloween. Hot Guy invites Katie to a costume party, seemingly giving Regina the chance to talk Katie up like she promised, but what's this?
She was such a good Slut!
I have a note from while I was watching this that just says, Regina's a real bitch, ain't she? Anyway, Katie doesn't handle this too well.
My stomach felt like it was going to fall out my butt.
And she finds shelter with Janice and Damien. It's here where the plot hits phase 2 as they hatch a plan to infiltrate and take down Regina George. After the first few attempts backfire, they turn their efforts towards the other plastics and decide to pit Gretchen against Gina with candy canes and lies. This brings us to what is easily the most recognizable scene in the movie, so let me break it down for you. It's the annual Christmas talent show, and the plastics are performing the same thing they do every year, a fairly risque dance to Jingle Bell Rock. And everything's going smoothly, until this happens. Oh, Gretchen, you're so stupid. The air rushes out of the auditorium. I mean, this is an absolute disaster. Until, in a strange fit of confidence, Katie starts singing, picking up where the stereo left off. And before you know it, Hot Guy's joining in, and then the whole crowd's singing it. Tina Fey jumps on the piano and they pull it off. What a triumph. And to cap it off, when they come off stage, this happens.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Honestly, this whole middle bit here is iconic. The fetch comment proves to be the final straw, and we transition from there into this dope Caesar presentation.
Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute as Caesar. Okay, Brutus is just as smart as Caesar. People totally like Brutus just as much as they like Caesar. And when did it become okay for one person to be the boss of everybody, huh? Because that's not what Rome is about. We should totally just stab Caesar!
Honestly, justice for Gretchen, dude. As a final act in this downward spiral, Gretchen lets it slip that Regina's cheating on Hot Guy, so let's add helping him discover that to the revenge list. Katie also uses deceit and deception to get Regina stuffing her face with these supposed Polish weight loss bars, which actually do the exact opposite in an attempt to make her fat. Shallow bitches hate being fat, everybody knows that. By now, the plan's pretty nicely in motion, but dear old Katie's slipping. Her time with the plastics, comboed with her constant attempts to manipulate them, is slowly turning her into a plastic in her own right. Like Leo in The Departed, she's starting to crack, but unlike Leo, them hands are shaking. She starts purposely failing in math in an attempt to get Hot Guy to tutor her, but when he shows regret for kissing her, she totally spills the beans.
She's cheating on you.
After she breaks up the happy couple, Katie goes full mean girl. In reaction to being called out by Tina Fey, she writes some mean shit about her in the Burn Book, which is this demented scrapbook Regina keeps to write lascivious rumors about her classmates in. Remember the Burn Book, it's important. Eventually, the tables finish turning and Regina's rocking sweatpants and stuffing her face like a cartoon mob boss. This breaks some of those stupid plastic rules, so they kick her off the lunch table and boom, Katie's the leader now. Trying to speed things up with Hot Girl, she throws a house party, but when she gets her chance, she's a drunk mess, the angles go Dutch, and she spills much more literal beans. As she chases after him, Janice and Damien catch her and it all comes to a head.
You know I couldn't invite you. I had to pretend to be plastic.
Buddy, you're not pretending anymore. You're plastic.
Meanwhile,
Regina's new guy blows the lid off the fat bars and she has a total meltdown.
Mother.
She takes to the Burn Book to put Katie in her place, but wait a minute. No, she's not. She's putting herself in the Burn Book. The plot thickens. Next day, she takes the book to the school principal, subtly accusing Katie of having written it. The remaining plastics are brought into his office to get to the bottom of it, but Regina's not done. Oh no, she's going nuclear. She's got a nice big stack of photocopied pages from the Burn Book and just starts littering the halls with them. And the halls respond in kind. It's anarchy. People are yelling and fighting and just generally getting their feelings hurt. Honestly, this whole sequence is pretty dope. I mean, with these drums. But the principal's not taking this shit, and he shuts it down before handing the reins over to Tina Fey. It's lesson time, baby. She's gonna show these girls that they're not so different after all. She gives Regina her comeuppance and gives Katie a chance to come clean, but she totally drops the ball in an effort to not be blamed for the whole book. But never fear, because Janice shows up and just annihilates Katie's cover and lets everybody in on what's been going on, like a freaking hero. Katie chases after Regina because that's the thing about her. As much as you hate her, you still kind of want her to like you, you know? And then, okay, This is the one thing I feel bad about spoiling. I basically told you the whole movie by this point, but if you feel any desire to watch it, go ahead and turn this video off. It's on Paramount Plus, which weird, I know, but maybe your parents have a subscription to watch some network cop drama and they'd be willing to let you use it. Either way, this is your last warning. So Katie catches up to Regina, and this happens.
You can take that fake apology and shove it right up your hairy...
And that's how Regina George died.
Dude, that shit got me. I have no idea how I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I laughed so hard. Anyway, Regina's not actually dead, but the next day everybody officially hates Katie because they think they tried to kill Regina, which, yeah, fair play. Nobody sits with her anymore, they're all sneering when she walks by, she's back to eating in the bathroom, the whole bit. From here, the movie admittedly plays out pretty much like you'd expect. She comes clean to Tina Fey, gets grounded, starts to learn her lesson, you know the beats. On the day of the spring fling, she's suiting up for a mathlete competition, I know.
You can't join mathletes, it's social suicide.
But she's making amends, okay? Side note, one of the funniest moments in the movie, in my opinion, comes in the montage when everybody's getting ready for the dance, and it cuts to Karen just sticking plastic jewels to her chest in the shape of a K. Just like the look of satisfaction on her face after she does it is so damn funny to me. So yeah, at the competition, Katie rejects her mean girl instincts, not too hard given that
Not one of those Marymount boys is cute.
why you gotta do him like that, Tina? And they win the match, or game, or whatever you call it. Afterwards, being the cool teach that she is, Tina Fey convinces them to go to the spring fling anyway, and oh my god, Katie wins spring fling queen. What an upset. She takes the opportunity to apologize and give a speech about why you shouldn't be a bitch or whatever, and she breaks the tiara up to share the title. As much as everyone saw this coming, I do love the self-awareness this movie has with this. Like, it's painfully obvious that she's not really supposed to give a speech, but the principal's just too uncomfortable to cut her off. Tim Meadows is so good in this, dude. And yeah, they live happily ever after. But real quick, why is this spring fling? Why isn't this prom? Like, this is clearly prom, right? To the end of the year, they have a king and a queen. This is totally prom. And isn't prom like the most important event in the life of a high schooler? Like, at least in these kind of movies, right? Like, I'm not going crazy here, am I? Now that I think about it, I don't remember anything about my senior prom. Like, absolutely nothing. I remember who I went with, and I remember pictures. I remember what I was wearing. It was red to match her dress. I'm a gentleman. I remember what she looked like. Her hair was tall. I remember the limo. I remember the dinner before. I had this dope bacon and scallop thing with risotto. But I got nothing from the actual dance. Jesus, am I getting that old that I don't remember significant things from my high school? No, that couldn't be, because I remember the absolute dumbest shit from my freshman year of college with crystal clear accuracy. Is high school really that insignificant? Oh god, did something terrible happen that night that made me block it out? Shit, can I remember coming home? Was it a pleasant trip back? Oh god, I gotta call Alex. He'd remember, right? Shit, what was I talking about? Overall, I totally get it, dude. This movie's great. Plot-wise, it's nothing special. You can pretty much guess what's gonna happen. There's no real surprises with the brief exception of the bug. But what it does do is tell that mildly formulaic story in an excellent way. It's absolutely hilarious and it moves at a clip. They fit so much in these 97 minutes, and I was 100% on board the whole way. Now, let's close this out with a few talking points to keep in your back pocket. Something interesting? You know the two montages where they cut through all the students talking about Regina and then Katie? I wonder if that inspired Edgar Wright, because there's a scene in Scott Pilgrim that's like identical to that. When they're at the party and everybody's talking about Ramona Flowers. So smart. And then a quick trivia, but there's a good chance that this is one of those that everybody already knows, so use with caution. Did you know the whole fetch thing came from Tina Fey's idea to use made-up slang because she was afraid that if she used real slang, it would immediately date the movie?
Oh, really? Wow, good idea.
So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know to fake your way through a conversation about Mean Girls. I mean, you should definitely watch it yourself, but this'll do until then. If you've got another movie you'd like to see something like this on, please let me know in the comments. There's an alarming number of movies I haven't seen, so I could definitely use some help figuring out where to start. Also, I fixed the piss. This is better, right? If you dug this, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is only a small bit of what we do here at GCA Films, so definitely check out all the links in the description, especially the Discord. We've got a great community in there, and that's definitely like the one-stop shop on seeing all that we've got going on around here. And yeah, that's it. Go home now, please. Gotta open the door. Gotta open the door back up for the kitties. Hey, man, you gonna be in the video? We're rolling right now, so this would be a good time. What a guy. Okay. And the lesser plastics soon forbid her from pursuing Hot Guy on account of the fact, this is a hard line. Why do I write like this? God, I fucking suck. Trying to speed things up with hot girls. Jesus Christ. Trying to speed things up with hot girls. Fuck. I probably said that the first time, didn't I?